What's going on, everybody? Deacon here, and on August 14th, it marks my wife and I's 14-year anniversary. And for those of you who have been following my channel for quite some time, you've probably heard me say, I got married literally a week after my 21st birthday. And also, we didn't tell anybody for 2 years. Like I told you guys beforehand, I will end up doing the video talking about why did I get married so young and why we waited 2 years before we told anybody. Which I'm not gonna be explaining in this video. Mainly because if I just told you why I got married at a young age, but didn't give you a little bit of backstory of what happened while we were dating, I thought it would leave just more questions than actually giving you an answer in that video. So if you're watching this video right now, but you've never watched the video on how we met, pause this video, go watch that video, and then come back. For the rest of you guys, let's get started. So after that first date, we continued to go out. And the format of how I would ask her out was pretty much the same, where I would call her up on Monday, see if she was available that Friday or Saturday night, and if she was, I wouldn't call her again till that Thursday just to confirm she's still good for Friday or Saturday. And if she said she was hanging out or going on a date with another friend, that was cool because I knew I was on the bottom of the totem pole and she was dating other guys at that time. So I say, hey, you know, it wasn't no big deal to me. And that's pretty much how I went through the whole month of July. Then in August, things started getting a little bit more serious and she would start calling me during the week. Now that did kind of throw things off for me a little bit because I kind of liked the way things were going. And then it was funny because I was the one doing most of the talking while we were on the phone. And sometimes I would say, here it is, you calling me during the week, but you're not even saying anything and you got me on the phone doing all this rambling. Now, of course, I didn't say that out loud, but that was definitely what I was thinking at the time. But as things started to progress, we started talking about a possible relationship because remember, we both previously came out of relationships and this was just a dating or a thing to be having fun. So when September rolled around, it looked like things were gonna start being official until I made one stupid mistake. Eve called me and asked me out on a date. And like a dummy, I went. So nothing happened when we went to the movies. We actually went to go see The Ghost of Mars, which is boring as fire. And then my wife just crashed the video. You're not supposed to come in during this part, because this is the part when I'm talking about when I went to the movies with Eve.
He messed up, man.
I didn't explain that part yet. I was getting to that part. You really about to stay in here?
I want to hear this.
Alright, had to kick the wife out. So as I was talking about, we went to go see The Ghost of Mars, which is boring as fire. After the movie, all me and Eve did was sit in the car and talk while listening to a bootleg version of Jay-Z's Blueprint album. And during that conversation, I pretty much let her know that this was it. We weren't going to be dating anymore. We weren't going to be seeing each other anymore. No physical stuff was going on anymore. Like, this was it because me and Brittany were about to start getting real serious, so I didn't want to mess or do anything that would jeopardize that. And of course, Eve wasn't too happy to hear that, but at the same time, she was talking to another guy as well. It's just now she knew I wasn't going to be the safety net anymore. Where I messed up is because I was on this whole honesty kick and I was going to tell Brittany everything. I told her that I went on a date with Eve, even though a lot of people told me I shouldn't have said anything at all. So instead of ended up being in a serious relationship and becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, instead she stuck me in this category where she said,
what is a girlfriend? What is a boyfriend except for a girl and a boy that are friends? Why do people always have to put a label on everything all the time?
So for lack of a better term, it let me know that I screwed up and, you know, as far as the relationship is concerned, it ain't happening. But I couldn't be mad at her because if I knew she went on a date with her ex and knowing how my mind works, I would have been thinking all types of things as well. And I wouldn't be trusting or put myself in a position where I could get hurt as well. But I remember one day that I picked her up from college and back in her house, we were sitting down in the basement and she said to me,
you know, usually after 3 to 6 months, I can get rid of guys.
And I'm thinking, oh, okay. So this is letting me know you're about to kick me to the curb. And I was like, cool, because my whole mindset was we were dating, we were having fun. And as long as nobody started mentioning any serious emotions getting involved, then it was no big deal. We can walk away. Even though I can't admit I was starting to get feelings for her, but I wasn't gonna admit that to her. I mean, who does that when you don't want to get hurt? So as time went on and because of school, I wasn't really hearing from her as much or seeing her as much. And I can understand that because, you know, she had so much that she had to focus on being in college and all I was doing was working. So I completely understand that. So I really didn't see her that much in October. And then I saw her on Halloween because we took my little brother out trick-or-treating around her neighborhood. But other than that, I didn't really see her that much, and I barely saw her. I would speak to her in November, but barely saw her in November. So it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I said to myself, well, I know her birthday is on December 5th. So I asked her, did she want to go out? And she said she was available. So I said, all right, if this is going to be the last date that we have, then I'm going to make it the best date I can possibly make it. And so I decided I was going to take her to the Baltimore Harbor. I picked her up. We ended up going out to the National Harbor. It was raining that day, but we went to the aquarium, had a good day at the aquarium, and then afterwards we went to the ESPN zone, had some food, and after we ate, we went out to the harbor and just was kind of like walking around. And I can't remember what the joke was or what it was that she said, but I said, you know what, I'm walking away. And as I'm walking away, she says,
Kevin, I love you.
and I stopped and I said, don't play around with my emotions like that. But she said it again, and she said, I love you. So of course I went back to her, you know, we hugged, we kissed, I said I love you back, and then we just enjoyed the rest of the evening and the rest of each other's company. So after just giving you all of that information and telling you that story, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, so this is the turning point where they decided they were going to be in a serious committed relationship, and then after a few months later they ended up getting married and not telling anybody. Wrong. Not yet. Even after we told each other we loved each other that day in the harbor, we still were in a friends with benefits type relationship. And a lot of other interesting things happened that I'm going to share in the next video, but not in this video because this one's already getting too long. But let's just say a lot of other crazy things happened where I almost messed up this whole thing again. But I'm glad everything worked out the way it did. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. If you think I should do more storytime videos, also let me know and give this video a thumbs up. So that's all for now. So as always, be wise. And until I see you guys next time, have a great weekend.